Doshi February. I'm late, but I'm here. This is my top 10 BL. End of title. Anime, manga, manhwa, donghua, games, and etc. Softcore spoilers throughout. I'll not ruin anything, but some deets need to be deets-ed. Extended and uncensored version of this video will be available in the description for Patreon members as well as anybody who hits join, because some things in this video are too hot for YouTube. Let's get into it!
You're strange, so you're perfect. You're strange, so you're perfect.
Chungke is a sand sculptor and a boat chama. Jiang Yuduo is a gang member and a landlord. Because of their differences, they fight. But because of their similarities, they find common ground, feel emotions, feed a cat, flirt, and fulfill each other's lives! At this stage in my life, I've seen almost about a dozen donghua, and amongst those, a handful of them have been danmei. Zhiyao is arguably the worst looking amongst all of them, yet here it stands as the only one in my top 10. Moda Zusha is beautiful, and soon we'll be rewatching it as part of a book club within my Discord server. If you'd like to participate, click the link in the description. Meanwhile, Zhiyao looks like I drew it, and that's not a compliment by any means, which should tell you how much the story itself makes up for it. Also, short hair helps, sorry. Long hair, I don't care. I've said this before, but with most danmei I've watched, and honestly a lot of BL that's come out within recent years, the fact that all overt displays of affection have made me feel like I'm being forced to ship characters just because I'm being told that they're canon. But if nobody is confessing, kissing, cuddling, or each other up, then why do I have to do what I'm told? I'm yawning at Hualien and barking why Xiaolian should actually be with Feng Xin. Meanwhile, I become a full-on hypocrite watching Zhiyao. Where every other second I'm like, look, they looked at each other, they breathe the same air! Favorite danmei donghua, although not my favorite overall donghua.
I'm a dog for
There's Yashiro the Yakuza, and then there's Domeki. Not the best Domeki, in fact not even the second or third best Domeki, but an overall acceptable Domeki. An acceptable Domeki who's impo desu, and who acts as the Kevin Costner to Yashiro's Whitney Houston, as the latter continues to s*** the former off despite the former's assertion, I have nothing. But to quote Yashiro, if I never try, then how will I know? New year, new reset on the counter of me rhetorically asking when the f*** this second movie is gonna come out. Sayazuru is hot, heavy, and hefty with some of the juiciest I've seen in all of anime. Aside, I find these two's dynamic to be both hilarious and adorable. And that's really all I can say, because again, I've only seen the first movie. At the rate it's going in terms of BL cancellations past the 1-year anniversary on a certain cancellation about a month ago, along with how bland the BL announcements have been for the past few years, as well as the dwindling depictions of in the few options we do have outside of Anime Festa, I have no hope. I thought the Blue Lynx was endangered, turns out it's extinct. Play corporate workhorse Tomoki as he visits the latest Mandara spa location that just opened in his city, so he can act out his inhibitions as a Robert Kraft Kinney, as he's courted by a cohort of concubines while balancing his accounting job and non-existent social life full of segs. Full Service is my third favorite visual novel of all time, my second favorite BLVN, number 1 later in this list. When we talk about what truly matters, what's important when it comes to a relationship within an animate video game, sure, a story is a big investment point. Sure, art can be make or break. Sure, hot characters are necessary for blood flow to the nethers. But the one thing about Full Service that gets me it's the simple fact that I don't mind its minigame. I'm even capable at it. Camp Buddy taught me I can't spell shit. Dream Daddy was a nightmare. Scoutmaster Season informed me that my eyes don't work. And Slow Damage inspired me to write my own name in the Death Note. But Full Service patted my head and said Yoshi Yosh while Hikaru Utada played in the background. Full Service would not win any groundbreaking narrative awards, but I had so much fun with it. Favorite character is Okie Dokie Artichoke Me, close second is Rald. Only real negative I have to say about the game is that its guidebook is a killer. I ranted about this before at length on Patreon. There'll be a link below in the description for you to check out if you're curious. But let's just say the twins actually aren't twins. Boom! One boy is Angie, but he loves cats. The other boy is Fancy, but he wants to let the doggy out and put it in shimo. So he courts the Angie boy by throwing the dog a bone until he gets the chance to. I've read a bunch of BL one-shots over the years. Most of the time, they just kind of come out just fine. Some are more memorable than others, most are forgettable. I skip ahead to the final chapter where they fuck. But this one shot has always stuck with me because it's so wholesome, humorous, and hot. The characters are so lovable and it's so brief, with so much potential that I always hoped that there would be a sequel or a follow-up of some kind. The spin-off was not good enough. I literally don't care about these two characters. I want more adorable Tachibana in Takajo being a fat ass mood. And no, I'm not listening to the f***ing audiobook. Stop asking.
Just keep walking, walking.
Is heteroflexible, he just doesn't know it yet. And what is a for sure way to discover this? Being a broke straight boy. Trying to fund his debt with a lack of knowledge of the lucrative output of camming in the era before the proliferation of OnlyFans leads Ed into the adult film industry where he chokes that chicken for change. An endeavor that evolves Ed from solo dolo to strict top before becoming the bottom he was destined to be when he encounters superstar Glenn McQueen. As the two before feelings, becoming the hot new couple as Ed tries to keep his salacious secret from the people in his life. I will always love Walk on Water. Shout out to the scanned version with the redrawn that got me into the series because those looked horrible. But the premise and untouched version, despite looking like a Jedi temple, is so sexy, so passionate, and low-key mad cute. I love Ed, he's attractive, likable, and a great pro-tag. Love McQueen, smoking hot, bit of a disaster, but high-key adorable. Yoyu should have his own story. Lancer is more of a berserker. I recently finished Under the Green Light, Jax's most recent work. It's hard for me to compare the two in regards to story because they have the same artist, but they do have different writers. But Jax, my sweet summer child, these are out of control. Potato! Fear of aside, I still enjoyed Under the Green Light. And Flashback Jin in the Potato nickname definitely helped. But Walk on Water is still 20,000 leagues above, hence why it's the only one on this list. I don't mind kaiju size from time to time, and the in Walk on Water are not small, but they are infinitely less ridiculous.
This from all fools.
There's Woo-sung, a golden retriever of a man, and there's Sun-jin, a short massa king. Woo-sung likes Sun-jin, Sun-jin likes Woo-sung, but Woo-sung doesn't know. Woo-sung confesses, Sun-jin accepts, and reverse rebirth. There's Jae-hee, a hot, talented piece of ass, and there's Bum-chul, a catastrophic disaster. Bum-chul and Jae-hee hate each other, but when they end up alone, I'm pretty sure About Desire, formerly known as All About Lust, was my first Korean manhwa. Although if not my first manhwa, which might have been Ghost Love or Refrain Love or Brawl and Go, it was definitely my first BL manhwa. Discovered it from seeing its scenes on my Tumblr dashboard back in the day, and I've been trapped in hell ever since. About Desire is one of the funniest things I have ever read. There's just so much yelling, and I do love yelling. The art style in theory is not something that should have drawn me in, but something about its unique simplicity works so well for me in all aspects. I'm very much due for a reread, although I refuse to do that until I've finally gotten to Shippuden. But I'm hoping to at least get to the spin-off this year.
I'll be in my head if you need me.
Do I have to explain Sekaiichi Hatsukoi? Still the greatest of all time, my favorite BL anime of all time. And every time I watch Sekaiichi, it feels like the first time. The Passion, the soundtrack, prologue sets the scene so well. What Our Hearts Can Do makes everything emotional. Pain's Identity, Nagato. Danger Signal. And there's just so many entertaining couples to choose from. Yokozawa playing wife to his single father husband. Hattori and Chiaki, part of the love triangle from hell. Kisa-san, Kisa-san. But Takano and Ritsu will always be Bokuichi. Overall, an iconic series, and at the center of one of fandom's most hated debates. Is it all one word, or do we hyphenate? I'm not explaining Killing Stalking in 2025.
I like Killing Stalking as a thriller, but it's not BL.
Yeah, and Yoon Bum did nothing wrong.
He had it coming.
Some of y'all's heads are so far up your own ass, it's giving Human Centipede. Y'all know what it is. Y'all watch me succumb to Sang-woo's charms in real time. One of my favorite videos I've ever made. I'm starting to see the moe of Sang-woo. I wouldn't say I'm a Sang-woo simp. 'Cause we're living this life. All I'm saying is heinous shit attracts people with taste. Longtime subs of mine know that I avoided Killing Stalking for years because the discourse online was as dumb and deranged as the current administration in the White House. But literally, this shit changed my life. And I firmly believe, whether you like it, enjoy it, or not, it is a life-changing work that everyone should experience at least once. You will literally come out of it a different person, potentially a better person. Whether you hate Sang-woo, and yes, I know I'm mispronouncing it Sang-woo, or identify with Bum, or feel immeasurable disappointment at Yang not getting any whatsoever, 10 out of 10 recommend if you're stagnating in life and need a spiritual reset. It's cheaper than ayahuasca. Apparently a drama adaptation was in the works at some point. I don't know whatever the hell happened with that, and I'm frankly just not interested. And years ago, I would have said that there was no chance whatsoever for an official Killing Stalking animated adaptation of any kind. But aside from the recent plethora of manhwa getting both anime and donghua adaptations, Killing Stalking actually had a bit of a resurgence, a second wind within Japan in the past few years, with Kuki visiting the country for events as well as a plethora of new anime merch being made to go alongside with the Japanese release of the manhwa. So now I'm hoping, just not with Studio Dean, although it probably would be, Junichi and Tatsuya are childhood friends! Then things we can't discuss on YouTube occur. And it's an emotional roller coaster straight through from there. It's a story full of situations that are complex, exploring lives that are complex, featuring that is pretty standard vanilla but most of all, evoking a plethora of emotions that are complex. I've been screeching like a newborn birdie about complex for years. When I first read it, I bawled my eyes out and then proceeded to go to dinner with friends and suck their ears off about it. A dinner that actually was the prequel to me seeing I Want to Eat Your Pancreas in theaters. And later that night, binged the entire series a second time. Safe to say I was a sad boy for the entire week afterwards. It was great! Complex is just so enthralling. Like, it's so sad, but also just so hopeful. It just gets my emotional rocks off. I used to have a desire for an anime adaptation. At this stage of my life, I'm generally of the opinion that the less English speakers know about a series, the better, and the less accessibility they have to it, the better. It just makes everything a lot less annoying. Either way, Complex is still my favorite BL manga of all time. It used to be my favorite BL anything of all time. However, in very recent history, it has dropped down to being my second favorite BL thing of all time, with the #1 spot going to... I'm kidding. Actually haven't read Jinx yet. Who knows, maybe after I read it, it'll actually take this spot. But the real #1... Sumi and Haru. Leave your own top 10 BL lists in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this top 10 list, I have a few more that you might be interested in. Last month, I actually ranked my top 10 anime ending songs, top 15 anime opening songs, and top 10 English dub theme songs on Patreon as well as for channel members. So click the links in the description to watch each one if you want to find out if anything you know made the cut. That's it for Fujoshi February 2025. I know, one and done, latest probably on the last day. My next video will be a transition into a topic that is BL adjacent with some of my hottest takes to date. Bye!